Uh, uh,
Welcome to whatever the heck this is. Thank you guys. One, I just want to say thank you guys all so much for the love and support. Um, didn't think it would ever get this far. It's amazing. I'm your host, Darth Ginger. This is the Ugly Couch podcast, and we are blessed with another new guest, and I'm so excited. How do you pronounce your name?
I pronounce it Thetis. A lot of people say Thetis, but I pronounce it Thetis.
So there was a time where I was like, oh, the tits, got it. And I was like, I know that's not right, but it's fun to say.
You're not the first person to say that, and no, that's not where it comes from.
Where does it come from?
Actually, it's a Greek mythology, and Thetis was a sea goddess. She's actually the mother of Achilles. So she's the one that dipped her son Achilles into the river Styx to make him invulnerable. But she is a sea goddess, and she is the mermaid, and that's what I am, as a mermaid. I actually say I'm more of a siren than a mermaid now because I own men's
Ooh,
souls. But
that's what we love about redheads, man. You know all of our freckles? Those are your souls.
yep,
Yep, we took them all because you were very much because you were a redhead.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why you and I got along. Got it.
yes. One of the things that made us get along.
Yeah, I mean that conversation. We talked on the phone for a long time, and it was
Yeah,
it was so organic, and
yeah.
it, being doing this podcast. I've had my hiccups with people who the conversation just didn't flow so organically, and there was one podcast that I recorded, and it was the first time that I told the person that I wasn't going to post it because it was so I never want to like tell someone no, I want everyone to be on here, but there is such like a level of enthusiasm that we look for on the ugly couch, and he was really excited, and it was a time, and when I talked to him on the phone, the conversation sounded really interesting, but when it came to recording, the enthusiasm was gone, and it seemed
Oh.
more like he just wanted to talk to me, which is fine. But when we're recording a podcast, we're here for the views, and sponsors, please hit us up. It's the ugly couch podcast at gmail.com. Thank you. Um, but you've been in some amazing kink things in the world because I don't even know how to get started with you because you're so interesting. How long have you been in the kink world?
I've been in the kink world for a very long time. I've done a lot of things. I've been in movies. I've been in magazines. I also host swinger parties and gangbangs, and I just started an Only page.
How is that going for you?
Actually, it's a little slow. I'm still trying to figure out that platform. It's not a platform I'm used to being on. But I had a lot of people sit there and go, "Oh, you should," because I have a lot of content. So I'm like, okay. And then now I have photographers contacting me saying, "Want to make more content?" I'm like, "Yes, I do."
That
And
sounds, yeah, that's
yeah,
great.
my girlfriend just got me a mermaid tail, so I want to do an adult suit set with a mermaid tail, where of course I have to be topless because mermaids don't have tops.
Mhm.
And yeah, so and it's hopefully gonna spring will happen soon, and I can be outside. Would love to do a waterfall photo shoot with my tail and all that, and be outside. I think it would be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it.
Wow. I mean, I'll make sure to drop the link about 317 times down below in the description, because I'm looking forward to it. Because I tried once to do a mermaid scene, but I was on this like green and purple like bikini in a bathtub. It's on many vids. It's going to be free soon because I just don't post those kind of videos anymore. Because that was back when I was a cam girl, and I loved making content like that. I just don't do that much anymore because I've been approached a lot about OnlyFans, and I just couldn't get on it, especially after you know, they renewed their rules and stuff, and they've really restricted a lot of things to the point where if you have a profile photo like with your cleavage showing, they'll shut you down.
Yep.
And it's crazy. And to keep, you know, OnlyFans is the only reason OnlyFans blew up is because of the sex industry. We all know that. And
Yep.
and then they decide, you know what? This was probably a bad idea on our name. And then they backtrack, and I was like, I'm glad I waited. But I mean, if anyone has great success on OnlyFans, good for you, because I love
Right.
making content, but it's just so much work, you know, and it builds so slowly unless you already have, you know, especially for people on FetLife that have, you know, hundreds of thousands of followers,
Right.
you know, and you know these cam girls, and it's such a competition. And um, I've been in the industry for 10 plus years, and I can't do that anymore. So this is why the podcast came around. So because this is just so much more fun. Sorry, and everyone who keeps asking me to do a nude podcast, please stop. This is YouTube.
Yeah.
That's just not gonna happen. But congrats. I'm sure it's a lot of work to, you know, do only because are you doing it all by yourself?
Well, yeah, as so the thing is I've been doing content building, so to speak, for a lot of years. So, you know, I actually have a lot to be able to post. So I post every day. I actually just started it, I think December 1st, I think.
Oh
And
my God, that's
so,
the day before my birthday. Woo woo.
oh, December baby.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just started it, and I had a couple, like, I'm on FetLife and I'm on SLS and I'm on Sexy and Funny. So I put it out there that I was doing a website. Luckily it's all the Thetis17. So if you search it, actually this is a funny story. Back in the day before Google updated their search database, if you put in Thetis, you got pictures of me instead of the goddess. Because I had so much content out there.
Good promotion. Oh my
Yeah, yeah.
gosh.
Well, and then they fixed their search engine,
Ah,
so
darn
that
it.
stopped.
Ah, shoot.
But yeah, but for a while, if you typed in Thetis, instead of getting the Greek goddess, you got me.
That's
So
that's 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 amazing. Good, good. And so with SLS, I tried that for a hot minute, and you know, it was definitely difficult. Not difficult, um, just a weird understanding because I'm in a relationship, and he was actually the one who proposed to me to do SLS. And I couldn't feel comfortable because they were asking to like buy me out, and I was like, no, it's not. But I hope that you've had positive experiences with SLS.
well, I've actually SLS. I kind of
Oh,
started with
if you
them
could
back.
explain to people what SLS is.
So SLS is swing lifestyle, and SLS for short. And I actually, I've been doing this for a minute, and so SLS came out a long time ago, and I found their pay. I started with AFF, Adult Friend Finder. I was not very successful with AFF. For me, it just didn't work. So then SLS came out, and I was in California at the time, and SLS really is big in California. So when I started doing parties and you know, hosting events and things, I would post it on SLS, and there was lots going on, and you know, I got a pretty good return for my value. So I became a lifetime member. So now I don't have to pay anymore. And I posted pictures. But as a format, SLS is not as easy as like FetLife is easy to post pictures on, where SLS is not. But SLS, you know, I get better conversations, so it just depends. But SLS, when I moved up, I'm now in Washington. When I moved to Washington, there's not that many people that use it up here. So then I
Oh,
had to switch over to FetLife. But FetLife is more of a BDSM community, and I'm more of a swinger. So there's a small swinger community on FetLife, but not, it's more of a BDSM. So I use it mostly to sit there and post pictures and, you know, let people know about events that I have coming up. And then I've been asked for years, a couple of years, at least 2 or 3 years of going, you should do onlys. You should do an OnlyFan. And I'm like, yeah, but that's a lot of work. But I was like, you know what? I want to be able to travel. I have, now that I have people that I know in different states, I want to go see them, you know. And so I started an Only page basically so I could travel. Any money that I make, it goes into a bucket so I could travel. So there you go.
What was like your best like traveling like kink experience that you've done?
Actually, the most recent one that I did is I went to Kentucky, and my girlfriend lives in Kentucky, and she actually set up a whole themed week for us where we had a pirate show where she got us a pirate hotel room. She got us the mermaid tails, and so it was a whole themed weekend with my girlfriend who I hadn't been able to see for a while. So that actually worked out really well because I'm bi. I have a primary male and I don't have a primary female anymore, but I have a lot of female friends that I can go visit. So
That is that is a fucking time. Holy shit.
I had a whole lot of fun. And vanilla, I got to go axe throwing for the first time, but never did that before. That's fun.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was just at the Ren Fair yesterday, but that doesn't count as axe throwing at all. So no. Wow. That's so what has been like something like positive that you found through like the kink world?
The connections, actually. I've made some really good connections with really, honestly, really awesome people. I've unfortunately run across some crazy people too,
Oh
but
yeah,
that's everywhere.
that's a given. You know.
But one of the things that I really do cherish and love is the fact that I can be who I am. I'm a very sexual being. I love both men and women, and I can be who I am with that community. Whereas in the normal world, I can't do that. So I live two worlds, two lives. So
Is that hard for you to like separate like your, you know, vanilla life from your kink life?
not really, because I am so controlled at work. This is going to sound funny, but I do HR. So I
No,
know the
that's no,
rules.
no, no. That makes complete sense. That makes so much because everyone I've met in HR, they're the kinkiest people ever, and they're like, yeah, sometimes when I take a shower, I put a finger in my butt, and I'm like, you know what? Good for you. That's great. You know, working in HR, that's fine. If you want to go to a swingers club, because that's the nice thing about out here in Phoenix. There's so many swingers because my partner and I are swingers too, and one of them just got shut down, but that's because their lease just ended. But we're getting a new one, and we love swinging. We've been doing it for about 2 years now, and we've only had actually I don't think we've had any. Oh no, there was that one negative time, but that wasn't because of anything. There's just way too much alcohol involved. But we still had a great time. But swinging is like such a fun thing. And we
Yep.
didn't think we would ever get into it, but we moved here and all of a sudden these couples that swing saw that we moved to Phoenix and they're like, "Do you guys happen to swing?" And we're like, "I don't know. We're down to try." And we did it and we're like, "Okay, anyone else? You guys available?" Wednesdays and Thursdays, because that's his only day off because he's a chef. So,
Ah,
but how did you get into swinging?
actually, I get asked that a lot. So way back in the day, my husband and I, my husband realized that I was getting crushes on girls, and so he helped me get into being introduced me to women that I found attractive. So I built relationships with women, and the one that moved to Kentucky, I've known her that long. She was my first girlfriend, and when she moved, I was missing that companionship. So we got into swinging to look for the unicorn, the elusive girl. But actually, it ended up being that we were ended up meeting with other couples, and it's eventually worked into that I'm more active. He's not as active anymore. He's just kind of sits off and goes, "Oh, go ahead, honey, go have fun." And I'm the one that goes out and I sit there. And now I'm the unicorn. I go out and meet couples, or I go and have gangbangs, or that type of thing, because I'm weird, and I like sex. Sex for me. So everybody asks me, what's your vice? You don't drink, you don't smoke. Sex is my vice. I truly enjoy it.
And it's a great healthy one. It's awesome. Because I'd rather have sex than shooting up heroin and whatnot, because that's just not cool.
I
Please
also
don't do
keep
that.
myself safe. I always play safe. So it's, yeah. There's other activities out there that are not safe, and I keep myself safe and have a lot of fun. It's a great endorphins rush, and you know, we all walk away with a smile on our face.
Yeah, and it's such a beautiful rush, especially when you're doing gangbangs, just to be around that many people. You could be playing with someone, and then you're also feeling the energy of someone else playing, and it is such a beautiful. You're nope. My lisp is not about to click in. Get out of here. A euphoric feeling,
Yeah.
and it's such a connection that not everyone can, ever understand, which is why I started this podcast to kind of normalize that, like, hey, if you like to do this kind of stuff, there's hundreds of thousands of us that do it. We're not going to judge you at all, unless it's like, children and animal play.
Oh, yeah.
That's not cool. That's not cool. We don't condone that here on the Ugly Couch or anyone else in the world. If you do that, you're a fucking demon and should be locked up. And I'm sorry, but what the kink world is so beautiful about is I got into the kink world. I knew instantly when I lost my virginity at 13. I was like, oh, this is not going to be normal at all. Like, I was like, I'm going to want to do some weird stuff, and I did, and I have been doing, and it's beautiful, and I want people to embrace that kind of stuff. Like, if you want to be monogamous and just have vanilla sex, that's fine. But if
Yeah.
sometimes you want to wear a butt plug, that's cool.
Yep.
And
Or a
the
tail
freaking,
to go with it.
yes, I gotta get a new tail because someone, Ella, you don't want to be on the podcast. This is the third time you're just shunning yourself. Just come here. Just say hi. Just a little.
Aw, look at her. She's so cute.
She's like, no, I finally got the good blanket. I'm out of here. Thanks. I've got this terrible blanket obsession, and every time I get a new one, she's like, no, it's mine. I'm like, okay, well, you're spoiled
You
brat.
thought you had a new blanket.
Yeah, and so then I'm going to buy another one. So there's no such thing as too many blankets. No one ever let you tell you that, okay? That's just not a thing.
Well, see, and now you have so many blankets, you won't see the ugly couch because they're just covered.
Yeah, no, it is covered. Like, it is completely covered. Because this is the color of the ugly couch, and it is ugly. But, um, and you had touched on a beautiful subject about, empowerment. And I love that so much.
I don't think women feel like they can own their sexuality anymore, which is sad. It's unfortunately a male driven world, but when you get involved, the nice thing is, and I'm hoping you found the same thing, when you get involved with swinging or whatever, the women have all the power. They're the ones that say yes or no. It's, if the woman is not into it, or if you go to an event and you see, the guy kind of pushing the woman, you'll notice other people that are in the scene will try to kind of rally around her of like, do you really want to be here? Because if you don't, we're not going to make you be here. It's very, they look out for each other, which is one of the things I really, really like about the community. And me personally, I just, some of the reason why people are attracted to me or love talking to me or like want want to learn from me is because the fact that I own it. I am not a small person. I'm almost 6 feet tall, and
Oh
I
fuck!
am
I'm so short. I'm 5'5". Oh
am
no.
And so, and I wear heels, I dress as Wonder Woman when I do cosplay. I'm Wonder Woman and I embody that Amazon give me the power type. And it attracts people because it's like I own my sexuality. I own my power. And it's very liberating, there's a lot of time where people are like, "Oh, really? You're gonna that's what you're gonna wear, or that's what you choose to." I'm like, I think I feel sexy. Forget it.
Was there like something that like finally like made you feel that way, or have you just always been like that?
Oh, no, I was not. No, 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 no. Actually, growing up, I was the as I put myself, I was the shy wallflower that you would not even notice when you walked in the room. But I got together with my partner who was very or is very vivacious, and he's actually he was a performer for a lot of years. And so he brought me out of my shell, and he's like, "You're beautiful, and why are you sitting in the corner? You need." And so it's just one of those things. And when I turned 40, I decided that I wanted to do burlesque. And so I found a promoter and I says, "For my 40th birthday, I want to do burlesque." And she's like, "I have a stage for you." So I did burlesque. So basically I turned 40 and I was like, "You know what? Here I am, world. Deal with me as I am."
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's very
So,
inspiring because that's how I felt when I turned 30. I was like, I'm fucking done like trying to like please everyone. Like I want to do me. I don't care what anyone like you can judge me all you want, but I'm happy and I have a very supportive partner and he was the same way because I'm usually the shy one. I'm still working on it, but he's like, "Honey, like you're pretty cool. Like, empower that." And I think that more women need to embrace that. Men need to as well. I think that everyone should. If you feel, because there's always going to be that gut feeling, like when you're sitting by yourself and you're like, I could do so much more and better for myself. So why not?
mhm.
And embrace that because you are awesome and you are really awesome. And I'm so happy that you're on here. My pits are so sweaty because I'm so nervous. I'm so sorry. I swear, I put on
That's a
deodorant three
charming
times today.
segue.
I'm so sweaty. No, this is a reason why this podcast is garbage. And thank you all for everyone to continue tuning in. I appreciate it. Um, but no, and it's really awesome when you find someone that really brings you out of that shy bubble. And it doesn't have to be your partner, it could be a friend, a family member, whatnot. If you know that gut feeling, like push it out, like go ahead, do it, like you deserve it. And more people need to know that because we can't all be shy and meek because then we're not going to get anything done. It's just we're just all going to sit here like it's quarantine all over again. And I'm sure none of us want to do that ever again. Um, and that's, it's crazy how, a site like FetLife lets us still embrace that kind of stuff. And FetLife, has changed, over at least the decade that I've been on it. Um, and everyone's always going to get mad that, on Kinky Popular page, it's going to be the girls that have their OnlyFans linked. And that's cool. And you can't get mad at them. There was a writing the other day that I wish I could remember his name, talking about how, everyone always gets mad that they're on the popular page. Don't get mad about it. They're, they're hustling. Like, good for them. They're empowering themselves and, they're promoting themselves. And it works. And that's why I love that, you're doing OnlyFans. Again, the links will be all down below. Fucking chill. Just wait until the podcast is done, then scroll down. I mean, if you want to pause, then have just multiple tabs open. It's fine. Uh, but it's such a crazy thing. And the thing that I always like to ask, what is the like most worst kink like experience you ever had?
Unfortunately, I've had a few. Um, the one that was really the weirdest was way back in the day when my partner and I used to play together. We met a couple at their house, and um, I don't know where their dynamic was, but they were very much divide and conquer. I like being able to be in the same room with my partner, or his enjoyment is my enjoyment, and vice versa type thing. And it was kind of like, oh, no, 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 you guys have to go. I'm going with the guy over here, and you're going off with the girl over here, and it was just very. They made it very separated. And I was like, it doesn't have to be there. I'm all about my favorite thing. My profile says my favorite things are piles of flesh. I love multiple bodies, and because you don't know what you're doing with who, and I love that. That in itself is a lot of fun. But that it was very odd. I would say that was it wasn't even my oddest experience. It was just I was it left with confusion. There's been times I've actually gone to parties where I've actually turned around and left, but that's usually because either pot, I'm highly, highly allergic to pot. And I tell people that ahead of time. And then if I walk in and, there's a hot box, then I'm like, peace. I gotta go because I'm about to be sick. That's no fun for anybody. Um, but most of the time, um, it's most of the time it's usually about a vibe. If you feel comfortable, then if I'm comfortable if I walk in the door and at least take off my shoes within the first few minutes. If I don't take off my shoes and I don't take off my jacket, there's probably a vibe.
Okay, everyone, make a note of that. If you happen to do this with her, take note. Take note of that.
Yep.
It's definitely like a feel out thing, with swinging and stuff. I've learned over the past couple of years is, at first we were like just like a couple was like, hey, you want to swing? Like we're like, yeah, okay, cool, we'll meet up. And you have to have. I've learned that you have to have such a discussion and find out what the other couples dynamics are, because there's been a time like that too where we don't mind doing us personally, separate rooms, but we prefer same room. We like to do full swap. And we're just pretty much open, whatever. We're really horny all the time. It's such
We
a,
would get
it's,
along so great.
we're just like over here, like fucking everyone. I'm like, sorry. And like the other day I was like masturbating and my vibrator broke. And like, it wasn't broke. Like it's broken. And I've had this mini Halo wand for about, I want to say 4 years, and I hope that you sponsor me. I'll keep reaching out to you too. I love that little wand. It has been all over the country with me, and it finally won't
And it's
charge anymore.
broke.
And it's broken, and I'm like, no,
When the
it's like
favorite toys break, that is heartbreaking.
it's so because I'm such a clit stimulator, and
Am I? Hmm.
I'm just like, I don't. So it's gotten to the point where I'm using like my Lush, which is so stupid. Just like, come on, and then that died too. And I was like, well, the mood's done. So I just called someone over and we fucked, and I was like, I'm still horny. It's just never gonna fucking work out. But fuck, I always get off track. Oh yeah. So when it comes to, you have to have such a conversation now when you swing with other couples, because they could have their own story, dialogue going in their head, that their own idea of what's going to happen. And there was one time where we met a couple and they were trying to do the same thing, and that was the first time we walked out, and I was like, that is not what we agreed to. And that was the first time that, like, if I don't have at least a conversation 3 days, like, we'll start a conversation, and if it doesn't last within 3 days, I'm out. And that's just been my golden rule because one, I like to have, some sort of like intellectual like connection with people, Like yes, I want to fuck, of course, but I want to also understand that you are also a human being and understand, which is why I love your shirt because no means no, even at a gangbang. It's great. But if I say no, just because you're like, oh, well, you came over here, I'm like, cool. I said no, bye. Like I'm a grown ass woman. Like I'm gonna fucking leave. I don't feel safe with the situation. You had your own idea. It's just not gonna work out. And I think that's, I wish more people, not everyone's just gonna keep saying the safe word is pineapple. And I'm sorry to be one of those people. I gotta change it because it's too common now. So I turned it into lobster bisque. It's my favorite food in the whole world. But it's just, when it comes to swinging, it it can be scary. What you were talking about earlier about one of your experiences that you just went over to their house. Like that's terrifying to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I'm someone who I'm literally home pretty much 24/7 because I'm a bit of agoraphobic. Unless I'm with my partner because he's my daddy Dom, he keeps me safe. I don't go out like at all because I just don't trust the world because I've had so many bad experience. But you have to have that open dialogue.
Yep.
But swinging is still fun. I still want everyone to do it. Try it if you want. Sorry to like bring it all down. I didn't realize I did that.
But it's it isn't for everybody. And one of the things that I have experienced in my past was couples that they have the baby to save the marriage. Well, they started swinging to save the marriage. And the thing is at least for when I started swinging, it really helped with communication. It's like after the event, okay, how did you feel? How did you do anything that you didn't like? Or what did you wish you could have done something more? It started a conversation that was much more deeper and much more fulfilling, which I think helped a lot. But we didn't get into it to save our marriage. We got into it to because I was looking for a girlfriend. And then it just moved on from there.
Have you had any luck like finding a new girlfriend? Because we had a unicorn once and she was amazing. Shout out to you, Sarah. I know you're not on FetLife anymore and you don't talk to me anymore. That's fine. She decided to go monogamous, which is great. But have you had like any luck like with any woman lately? Or are you like, what are you looking for?
Not lately. I've met some fantastic women. I have had two long-term primary female partners. I don't have one now. My last one, unfortunately, I actually don't even know why she stopped talking to me, but she basically ghosted me and stopped talking to me. And I kind of found out in a roundabout way that she's blocked me on everything. And so that crushed me because we had been intimate with each other for a lot of years. Our families grew up together, so it was
Oh
that one was a
wow.
hard,
That's
yeah,
that's
that one was
deep.
a hard to, yeah, that one was a hard one to take. So, but I am at peace with the fact that I did nothing wrong. It was just she's doing her thing and decided that she didn't want me part of it anymore, which is fine, to each his own.
Yeah.
um, Eventually, I'd like to be able to have a primary female again. I like having a primary male and a primary female, but I'm not looking for it right now. I'm just having fun.
What is like your favorite thing about a female? Like would I be your type?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just
you're cute.
I was gonna say just kidding and then you cut me. Thank you.
I'm gonna make you blush now.
Why is it every podcast someone decides, how to make me blush? Stop it. It's so
I
what is your
like
type?
making cute girls blush.
No, no. I say this every episode. I don't take compliments, so stop doing it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Fuck, 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 fuck. What is your what is your type of like what is like your ideal like female?
Uh To be honest, I love all types of females, but I love Latin women. I love
Oh
their
my
style.
God.
Yeah. But to be honest, they have to have something between their ears. I have to be able to engage and talk and, that's a lot of it. I mean, there's something to be said to be physical. So,
Sorry, I
you
was trying
know.
to look to see if there's something between my ears. I don't. Oh, brain, got it. Don't have that.
If you can have a conversation, and I giggle a lot. I'm a giggler. I like having fun with my life, and so if you have a sense of humor, it also shows the signs of intelligence. And so I like people who have a sense of humor who can, keep up with me.
Please tell that every time to the audience when I do stand up. That would make me feel so much better. Goodness gracious. One day it'll happen. Yeah, no, that is definitely like I like to have someone like that. I don't want to just like it be just sex. Like I want to like be able to like hang out on the like couch and watch Disney Plus movies while we eat McDonald's and I'll probably eat most of the fries. I'm sorry, it's not my fault. Fucking, it's my favorite food besides lobster bisques, which is still my safe word. Thank you everyone for suggesting that. Um, but yeah, it's definitely hard to find like females in this time of the world because most of the times that I reach out to girls, they're like they look at either my numbers or they're looking to make content. I'm like, I'd really just like a relationship, you know,
Right.
and
Well, my
it's hard.
computer is telling me that my battery's running low. So I don't know how long do you normally do your podcast, or should I go get a plug?
No, you know what? That is totally okay. Before your computer dies, is there anything else you want to share?
Come and find me on OnlyFans. I'm Thetis17. Yeah, I'm trying to build a fan base. I'm still new. Tell me what you want to see. I do requests, and I'm always open to engage with my fans.
And I'll make sure to link all of her links down. I'll make sure to put. God damn it! This is why I love doing the podcast. I'll make sure to put all of her links down below. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe to this shit, follow her, cause the tits. I'm sorry, Thetis. Sorry, I had to say it one more time. You're amazing, and I'm so happy that you were on this podcast.
I was glad to be here. I'd be wonderful to come back again if we could. So,
Absolutely. We'll bring you back. This has been Ugly Couch Podcast. Don't know why you're still here. Don't smash that dislike button because it'll crush our souls. And then I'd gain one more freckle. So thank you guys. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Still not doing the outro. Bye, guys. Bye, Thetis.
bye.